we talk about submitting is, let's not, you, if you get quarantined, if you notice, like, your classes are probably a lot, you know, there's people that are getting quarantined here a little bit more than the first 9 weeks. So, yeah, every day we're getting updated lists. This is how we have to communicate. You go to Canvas, you get the lesson, it'll be recorded, and then you gotta submit through Canvas, okay? So that we can get, you know, you can keep up. You cannot fall behind. If that situation happens, you are expected to keep up each day. No, she's here. She's taking a test to the next door for that one. All right, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, 17 and 18 are just kind of straightforward on that homework. So it says, Rachel, what do you got? You got an answer for 17?
Yeah, I said y equals 5x plus 9.
Y equals 5x. You said plus 9?
Yeah.
Okay, now it says the y-intercept is -9. Just make that a -9. So they give you the y-intercept, they give you the slope, you just put it in that form. That's all you do. There's absolutely no work to do. Okay. So if you take a look at that, you just plug them in. All right, 18. Jay Lee, what do you got for 18?
Y equals -2/3 x over 2, I mean plus 2.
You said -2/3 x. -2/3 x. Plus 2. All right, so as you take a look at that one, that's all you do for that one. Okay? Don't have to do anything else. Now, 19 and 20, yes, it gets a little bit more difficult. A little bit more difficult. So for 19, it tells us the slope, which I'm just going to put as m, equals -1/2. And they say 6,4 is on the line. 6,4 is on the line. Now, how did we do this one yesterday? Okay, Grant.
6 was the x, 4 was the y.
Okay, so that's x and y. And what do we start with? What little equation do we start with?
So it'd be y equals mx plus b. And then it'd be 4 equals 1/2 and times 6.
I think it's -1/2, isn't it?
-1/2 times 6.
Okay, now stop right there. Perfect. Everything he said is perfect. We start with y equals mx plus b. Your slope is the m. I know in your book it says slope equals, but that's your m. The point is 6,4. 6 is your x coordinate. It goes where the x is. Y is the 4. We have to find what b is. We have to find what b is. Christian, what do I do then?
Times 1/2 or -1/2 by 6.
And what's that give us?
-3.
So -3, and then you add 3, so it gives us 7 equals b. Now you can't just leave this. You got to write the equation. So it's y equals, we know the slope is -1/2. We had to find the y-intercept. So that's what I get there, -1/2 x plus 7. Okay? Grant.
I have the answer for 20.
Man, you're on fire here today. Trying to make up for that test?
I mean, oh no.
That's all right. No, what do you got for 20?
I put y equals x minus 8.
Okay, one little thing there. It's actually, well, because that slope is 0, this is a little bit different. It would not actually be x. I'll show you. Slope is 0. What's the other point? 6, -8?
Yeah.
So when we do this, y equals mx plus b. -8 equals 0 times 6 plus b. Well, what's 0 times 6? 0. So we get -8 equals 0 plus b. Well, 0 plus b, you can just make this -8 equals b. So technically, it's y equals mx plus b. What is our slope? What's it tell us our slope is? 0. So you got to say y equals 0x plus, not plus, but -8. -8. Y equals 0x minus 8. That's one way to write it, but what's 0 times x really equal to? 0. So Connor?
I put -14. I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure why either. Holy cow. Okay, but let me look at it. I'll come back and look at it.
Okay.
But y equals -8. that would be the final answer. And I know a lot of you probably, if you left it as 0x minus 8, that's okay for now because we really didn't talk about that one a whole lot. But y equals negative 8. You cannot say x minus 8 because you're telling me there's really a 1 in front of that x. Okay, so if you said 0x, that'd be different. Okay. All right, so that is kind of going through those. Now, go to your guided notes. Go to your guided notes. You had 3 problems on the bottom. 3 problems on the bottom. Anybody here that wasn't here yesterday? I think we're good. Okay, so those guided notes, there was 3 problems on the bottom we didn't get to. Oh, we need to punch the test up before we get to okay. All right, here's what's going on. If we have a line in this slope-intercept form, I know the slope, and I know the y-intercept, and I can graph it. I know the slope, and I know that because I can plot those points, and then I can graph them. Well, not everything is slope-intercept form. Do that right. Do that right.
Everybody's test.
And killing it then. Killing it. So you would plot the y-intercept and you would use the slope to find the other points. Well, you got to get y by itself first. So for this first one, what do I need to do to get y by itself? It says 2y. That's not good enough. It just has to say y. All right, so Sam, any ideas what I would have to do there?
Would you add 3x?
No, because the 2y is really, it is isolated on that side. The only thing I need to get rid of is the what? The 2. The only thing I need to get rid of is the 2. Well, how do I get rid of that 2? Hannah?
Do you divide by 2?
I divide by 2. Okay, so if it just says 2y, I'm going to divide by 2. Now, y equals, for this, I don't want want any decimals. So if you type that in your calculator, negative 3 divided by 2 gives you negative 1.5. I don't want that. If it gives you decimal, keep it as the fraction. Just keep it as negative 3 over 2 x. And then 6 divided by 2 is 3. Negative 3 over 2x plus 3. Now we can graph it. Okay? What's my slope? Zane, what's my slope?
Negative 3 over 2.
Yes, your slope is whatever the number is in front of the x once you get to y by itself. And Amanda, what's my y-intercept?
0, 3.
Good. Your y-intercept is 0, 3. Okay, this is how we graph this now. You go to the y-intercept, you put a dot there. You go to 0, 3. I put a dot. It is a negative slope. And this is what we talked about, I think, on the front. To make it go downhill, flip it over to the front real quick. Your notes. Flip that over real quick. All right, what did you write down for negative slope? What are the 2 things you can do? You can go up and to which way?
Right.
It says it right on your sheet. You can go up and to the left, or you can go down and to the right. So you got it right there. No excuses. You know it's a negative slope. So I go up 3 and then to the left 2 to get a point. Now that's the only point I can fit above it, right? We'll start back at the y-intercept, go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 2. And go down 3 over 2. So we need at least 4 or 5 points. Once you get those on there, we connect them. Go past your points a little bit, draw arrowheads on there. And so there you go. Those are all the points that make this equation true that I plug in for either one. So 0, 3 works, 2, 0. This is the point 4, negative 3. If I plug those in, they make those all equal. There's an infinite number of points that make it equal. Those are all the values. But we want to get y by itself first before we graph it. All right, we're actually going to put 2 of them on this next one. So just write the first one down. Y equals 2/3 x. These are both kind of special cases a little bit. Y equals 2/3 x. Okay, if we graph that one, what's it missing?
The y-intercept.
Missing the y-intercept. Well, it's technically still there. It's just not written. What is the y-intercept then?
4.
4. This is a different problem. Don't even look at this problem right now. Sorry. So pretend it's not even there. Okay.
It's 0.
It's a 0. If it's not there, now nobody ever does this, and you don't have to, but here's what's going on. It's 2/3 x plus 0. But you wouldn't write that. You can just leave it as 2/3 x. Now that you know. So what is its slope? Its slope is 2/3. It does have a y-intercept of 0, 0. It does have a y-intercept. It hits it hits it. So go to 0, 0, put a dot. Bless you.
And again, what that means is if my x value is 0 and I plug in 0 right here, 2/3 times 0 is 0, therefore the y is 0.
So, yeah, it has to match up. Now, is this a positive or negative slope? Positive, so it means it goes uphill. So if I need to, I look at the front, if I go up and to the right, or I go down and to the left. So I got room here, I can go up to 1/2 over 3. That is the point 3,2. If I plug in 3 for x, it means I get back 2 for y. I go up 1/2, I go over 3. I go down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3. Okay, draw your arrowheads. So that has a y-intercept of 0, and they're not going to write it. They're going to say plus 0. It's just going to say y equals 2/3 x. You got to know that. You got to know that. Now, this other one here, we're just going to do it on the same one. Okay, that's just a whole separate one. Y equals 4. Y equals 4. Okay, what's it missing? It's missing a slope. Do you see an x there? No x. Okay, so there's no number in front of the x. Well, there really is. This is the same as y equals 0x plus 4. You're just not going to write this because we know 0 times x is 0. So it's really just y equals 4. There's a 0 in front of the x, which means your slope is 0. We do have a y-intercept of 0, 4. Make sure you don't get confused and tell me the slope is 4. The slope is the number in front of the x. No number in front of the x, no slope. All right, what does a line look like with 0 slope? Make the other one.
Horizontal?
Yep, looks like this. Horizontal, it has 0 slope. So it's a horizontal line, but it does have a y-intercept. What's its y-intercept? 4, right? So put a dot at 4 and put a horizontal line through there. Put a horizontal line through there. Okay? So know those differences. So 2 special cases. One has a 0 for the y-intercept. Still has it will have a slope.
My bad, big dollar.
That's it. Okay, just put this next one on now. All right, now the third one.
And on that one, if we think about it, I'll just do that.
Yep.
For y equals 4, everywhere on this line, every ordered pair, the y value would always be 4. All right, so just keep that in mind. My y-intercept, the point is 0, 4. Well, here it's 4, 4, 6, 4, negative 4, 4. So everywhere y is 4, every single point. Okay, and it's gonna get a little bit we start to confuse this now when we add in a different kind of special case.
So like he said, every y value is 4. Doesn't matter what the x value is, they're all 4. All right, that third one. 6x plus 2y equals 10. All right, now we got to do a little bit here because we don't know the slope and we don't know the y-intercept until y is by itself. So the slope is not 6 and the y-intercept is not 10. That is incorrect. Got to get y by itself. Well, this one requires a little bit of work. What do I need to do to get y by itself? So you're saying right here, this is the y. Okay, I got to get it alone on the left-hand side. Move your 6x. Connor, how do I move it?
You're gonna divide it?
No, don't divide the 6x.
Subtract.
Subtract it. If it's a positive, you always want to add or subtract that term. And then this is why we did that earlier in the year, getting variables by itself, because it's going to come back up. Okay, Grant?
Yeah.
What's next? Tell me what to write.
2y equals negative 6x plus that.
Good. I would put it as, because we always want that x part first. That's usually how it's written. So instead of writing 10 minus 6x, go ahead in that step and write negative 6x plus 10. And then Grant, what would I do from here?
Divide 2 from everything.
Divide by 2 to get the y by itself. To get the y by itself. Now, that gives me y equals negative 6 divided by 2. That's a nice whole number. What is that? Negative 3, right? So I get negative 3. And then Colin, what do I get when I do 10 divided by 2?
5.
Plus 5. That's my equation. Now, Christian, do you know what the slope is at this point, and do you know what the y-intercept is?
Yes.
What's the slope?
Negative 3.
It's negative 3. And now some people will say negative 3 over 1. That's fine. Or you could just say negative 3. But it is technically over 1. And what's my y-intercept, Christian?
0.5.
0.5. Okay, now can we graph it? Yep. 0.5 is this point. Now I can't really go up because I'm out of room. But I can go down, and I got to make sure it's a negative slope. It's going downhill. So if I need to, I go back and review on the front. It tells me to go down 1, 2, 3, and go to the right 1. Go down 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. And go put as many points that will fit on there. And now connect. And make sure you go a little bit past it. And make sure that you put arrowheads on there. All right, so that's plotting everything. You weren't here yesterday. Here's the notes from yesterday. Okay. All right. Now, I know you're out of room, but I want to make sure we just hit this again. And this is what we did yesterday. And make sure we're okay on that. Let's see, I don't know if there's any room. Maybe you fit it in at the very bottom there. Okay, maybe you fit it in at the very bottom underneath those graphs. I know there's not a ton of room, but the first one doesn't take a whole lot. This is from yesterday. It says, write the equation that describes the line in slope-intercept form. Well, this is the easier of the two. Preston, you know the answer? Oh, Preston, I am feeling very, very bad about myself right now and my teaching ability. Very bad. Hanan, make me feel a little better.
Y equals negative 2x plus 8.
This is all you gotta do. The negative 2 goes in front of the x. Guess your slope. The y-intercept is just whatever's at the end. So this is all you have to do for y equals negative 2x plus 8. Okay? So when we give you the slope, y-intercept, done. Okay. Now, the next one does require a little bit more work. And this is what we did at the very beginning of class with Mr. Schler. Slope is 5, negative 4/14 on the line. Christian, you remember how to do that?
Yeah. Can I do it?
Yeah, tell me what to do.
So I think we're gonna do 14 equals 5 times -4.
Alright, good. Now, for those of you who are maybe not following that, here's what we said. Remember your slope is m. And this point is always x, y. He's starting with that general equation, y equals mx plus b. Okay, we're gonna start with that. And he says 14 should go in for y, correct. M gets replaced with 5. X gets replaced with -4 plus b. 14 equals -20 plus b. Well, I still need to solve for what? B. And how do I do that?
Add 20 to both sides.
Yep, add 20 to both sides. Add 20. So that gives me 34 equals b. Don't forget to write your final answer. So y equals, my slope is 5, so that's automatically going to make it 5x plus 34. Plus 34. Okay? All right, didn't want to, well, we went a little bit longer. Okay, there is for classwork. Now, you might not get all the way done,
Once you know what to finish.
but you got your protractor, so at least try to get done with the graphing part of here. Okay, and then we're gonna come,
Wait, do we have to work tonight?
just whatever, you just to finish this. Just to finish this.
No more. Probably like